doesn't have to go this hard, but it is. It stopped. I wanted to start up. Oh, let's start with the sound. With the drum. All right, stop it. Stop. It would have been the shit if it just went back on with the you know, that would have been nice. But it didn't do that, so it didn't work out. So what can I say? Did you start the timer?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Welcome to the first time on Jackal Nest, where we cover true crime story. And of course, we're not the first person to cover it, so what's the fun in doing that? So what we're gonna do is, LD, I don't like true crime stories.
No?
I don't listen to much of them. LD loves them. So she's gonna kind of walk us through it, and I'm gonna kind of react to the story as it goes, and we'll see what happens. This is episode 9, by the way. I don't know if they said that last time.
I think you did.
Segment 2. Okay,
All right.
LD, it's all yours. Start us
All
off.
right. So today I'm going to tell a little story about a triple homicide that happened here in our crazy little town. And it was dubbed the Blue Moon Murders. Ooh.
Yeah, I should have played Blue Moon. I bet it's on there.
You think so?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. So this happened back in July of 2015. And like I said, it was a triple homicide. A mother and her 2 grown sons that lived with her were very brutally murdered. All 3 had their throats slashed and were viciously beaten with a claw hammer. The oldest son, he might have been a little bit younger than the other son. They were both in their 40s anyway. He was also shot in the head, and they think that was pretty much to immobilize him.
So this was a family?
It's a family. It's a mother and her 2 sons.
But they were all adults?
They were all adults,
okay.
Yeah. I think the mother was in her late 70s. So.
Okay.
And then they were in their late 40s, the
okay.
sons. So they were kind of a reclusive family. They were also hoarders.
Okay.
The son, John, they dubbed him a little slow. He worked at Walmart, but the mother would drive him back and forth to work.
Okay.
And the other son, Richard, he worked at the Department of Homeland Security.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
What did he do? Was he a greeter at Homeland Security?
I have no idea.
Well, I'm not saying a lot during this portion because you talk about victims and I need to quit.
Yeah.
We try not to
make fun of.
Yeah, we don't want to make fun of
them.
victims. That's partially why I don't like watching these kind of things, because I always feel like the victims are being exploited somewhat by this.
Sometimes.
A little bit. And
yeah.
I'm not really comfortable with it. But I'll let you continue.
Okay. So what happened was some of Richard's co-workers started getting really worried. They weren't able to get in touch with him for about 3 days. He didn't show up for work. So they called in.
Richard, that's Homeland Security?
That's the Homeland Security
Walmart
side.
wasn't calling.
No, I think it was
not.
just
Walmart.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I hope he knows when he gets back, he's getting written up.
Right.
He's going to be on D-Day. You know what Walmart D-Day is? I worked at Walmart.
Yeah.
D-Day is whenever you get a certain amount of write-ups to get in trouble. They send you home with pay for 1 day. I got in trouble. And they said, you know what it's going to be if you get in trouble again, you're going to get a D-Day. And I said, I'm waiting for it. I want my paid day off. Let's go.
Right.
All right.
So anyway, the cops go over to do a welfare check, and that's when they find the bodies. Someone had also thrown like stacks of clothes over them, I guess maybe to make it a little bit harder to find them in the house. I'm not sure. So as the police are investigating, they find out that there is another son. That was, I believe he was 63. His name is Donald. And he was the mother Von Steele's oldest son from another marriage. And then she had these 2 other boys from a different marriage. They had a different father than him. So when the police question him and they end up, searching his home, they find out that he's Wiccan. And these murders happened on a blue moon.
Oh, that's the other son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
Or he's
oldest
Wiccan?
son. He's Wiccan.
Okay.
So
I'll
they
tell
found all this Wiccan material in his home when they went to search
Let me
it.
tell you something. Never trust a straight man that says he's Wiccan or believes in crystals. This is an
Right.
incel trying to get laid is what's happening when that happens. Or a possible wannabe cult leader trying to start a sex cult.
Right.
The only Wiccan I trust is a lesbian. Anybody else says they're Wiccan, I think they're full of shit.
Okay, that's good to know. So, all that to say that our sheriff here, former sheriff, that was sheriff here for 12 years, I believe,
Oh yeah, that's old Mr.
is David Morgan,
David Morgan.
who
That's his
is
first
a
name.
fucking
Should've been a race
idiot.
car driver. David
So
Morgan.
what does he do once he finds out that this man is Wiccan? Automatically holds a press conference before they know a whole lot about what's going on and claims that it was a ritualistic killing and that it's witchcraft.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this straight because I remember hearing about this.
Yeah.
It was not. It was. I was used to when I was a helper, riding with doing electrical work, and the electrician I rode with. We used to talk all the time because we did service work. We drive to people's houses and fix their issues. And he told me about this. And
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, it's like some satanic stuff in this house. They found all kinds of pentagrams and stuff written on the walls."
Yeah, see, none of that happened.
And
That's not
he's
true.
telling me about this, and I said, I immediately thought about the '80s. You know, 'cause that
oh
was
yeah, when they drummed up the satanic panic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jane, she owed me a coat. And I immediately said, it's probably bullshit. Whoever did it just probably did some shit to try to have them just immediately go after Satanists or whatever.
Right.
And the thing that a lot of people don't know about Satanists is they're just nerds. Satanists are just nerds. And most of them are fine. They're just nerds that, want to have like a cool personality or something. So they get into, then they can dress in black and act like they're really cool.
Well, I mean, and it's crazy because Satanism in and of itself really, it's not that bad. Like, the morals or whatever you want to call it that they try to live by are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But, some people take it the opposite
Well,
direction.
of course they do, but also people that say they're Satanists know that. And that's what they're kind of playing with that too. They know that. So it's just a silly thing. And I'm not hating on Satanists. One of my favorite people of all time is King Diamond. So,
yeah, true.
love him to death. And I was just listening to him before we even started the show. Anyway, that's kind of interesting that wasn't even all this shit written all over the walls.
There
and
wasn't.
pentagrams everywhere.
The only
And he was Wiccan, which is different than Satanist.
exactly.
Like, no matter what you want to say about it's all silly, you might think it's all silly or whatever, but it's two different silly things that aren't the same thing.
Right.
Don't call Star Wars Star Trek. It's two different things.
Right.
You don't know the difference. That doesn't matter. So he held a press conference.
You got me even.
We need to have
I'm
some.
saying it right.
I wish he had a conscience. It might help his whole fucking life.
I know. So yeah, he did that, and just to give it away, the whole reason this man killed his family was because Vaughn still had a net worth of about $1 million, and he had just found out she had cut him out of the will, and was leaving everything to her other two sons. And so that's the whole reason why this man murdered his family. He was a security guard at Sacred Heart Hospital, by the way.
Oh.
When this happened.
I know some guy that we used to do a lot of security work for the hospitals.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of all them hospital workers, man. If you got a family member or a spouse that works at the hospital, somebody trying to get at that person. I'm telling you, it's like a high school up in there.
Yeah.
Because they're all there all the time. So it's kind of like being, oh my God! It's the timer.
Well,
We're gonna have to make it 2 parts. We gotta make it 2 parts.
2 parts?
Two
Oh, we gotta
parts.
stop
Cut it.
this
Cut it.
video?
Cut it. Cut it
Okay,
now.
okay,
What are you
okay.
doing? Cut it.